Okay, today we are starting something new. Till now, we were working with Python and pandas, but today we are entering the world of databases. And before we do anything complicated, let's answer two simple questions. What is SQL and how do we install something to actually use it? Okay, so we will do. And don't worry, I will explain it like you have never heard of it before. Now, you imagine that you open Instagram, you log in, you see your messages, you see your followers. Where is all that data stored? Okay, it's not stored in air or it's not floating in the air. It's stored in something called database. So everything is stored under something that's what called database. A database is simply an organized storage of data. Think of like a useful and smart Excel file. But Excel file has, or Google Sheet, you can also take that. Okay, but it has limits. It has, we can't feed as much as data. Like there are a billion people. All that data can't be stored under an Excel file. If it's smart, though we can't do that. But while we take a database, it's much more powerful. We can store a large amount of data inside that. So, what is SQL? As we know, SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and people pronounce it like SQL or just like SQL. I used to pronounce it like SQL and both SQL and SQL. So, whatever you are comfortable with, you can choose it. Both are correct. Now, what does SQL do? SQL is a language we use to talk to a database. So, we don't program logic like Python. We ask questions. We say things like, give me all employees from sales, or we just ask, show me customers who spend more than 10,000, delete the row, or give me the average of things, average sales, and many other operations. So, SQL is basically asking questions to data. We are asking the data more questions. We are interacting with the database. That's what SQL is for. As we know, Python is a language which helps us to interact with the computer. We are communicating to the computer through the language Python. It is similar to English, so we can easily learn that language. Like that, SQL is a language which helps us to talk to the database, to communicate to that, or ask questions and ask it to make something, ask it to give outputs, average, sum, max, min, all that. And why? Why is SQL important? We should know that. Here is some very important thing that every company stores data using SQL. So they use SQL for everything, like while storing data. Okay, for that, like bank, hospitals, e-commerce, startups, or even big tech companies use SQL. So even if you use Python, or even if they use Python or any other programming languages, behind the scenes, SQL is still there. If you know SQL, you can work with data anywhere. So now we understand what is SQL. SQL is a language which helps us to communicate with the database. And the SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It has a structure and it's a query that is a language used to communicate or talk to the database. So this theory is enough for you. Now let's install something and start using SQL. And I want something simple. So as we are beginners, we don't want to experiment things, complicate the setup, or make Google Cloud or a payment, all this. So many professionals use BigQuery, which is really a good thing to start with. But as we move, we are using simple things like DuckDB. BigQuery is good, but it has a expiry pan, and also we need to pay after that. So we're just not making any complication. So this is the DuckDB is too reliable, and everyone can use it without any more complications in that. Okay, so we talked about SQL, we talked about the installation, and we need to know what is DuckDB. In the name itself, we can understand that DB is database. And DuckDB is a lightweight SQL database. It runs on your system. So no server required, no account required, or it's perfect for learning. So you can easily learn at your own pace. Nothing complicated. Okay, just take your computer, just run queries. Okay, that's it. So you will feel really calm, relaxed, and nothing. No other UI will complicate you while working. Okay. So, what about the installation method? Now listen carefully. There are two ways professional works, like directly in terminal or inside VS Code using Python. I will show you both. We can do the works directly in terminal. That's too easy. And while you inside Python, we can also use queries. Both are good, but we prefer VS Code using Python. Okay. So first of all, we need to install the DuckDB in the system terminal. So if you have a Python install type, you can go with that. Just do pip install DuckDB. Okay. So I need to open the terminal. What should I do first? I can just press Windows and then T, I mean R. So it comes, and if you write WT, it will open. So we can open it. The terminal will be opened here. So there are many other ways to open the DuckDB, like the terminal. You can use just Windows plus X and just write T. We can also open the terminal. Okay. So Windows plus X and terminal is here. Open it. So there are several ways. So one is using Windows plus T, I mean R, and another one is Windows plus X. Okay, both are okay. So we opened it. Now I have to do that. I need to do cd with dot dot. So my username is just removed. Now I need to do cd plus dot dot. Afterwards cd, and I used my location. I want my files to be in this location. So run this. Okay, we got a error. We can solve it though. So we can add the quotation mark. So it will treat it inside the quotation. After that, you can run. Okay, now we can install DuckDB. How can we install? We can use pip install, then use DuckDB and run. So our DuckDB is downloading here, and you can see it's downloading. So give it a minute, it will be fully downloaded. So now you can see the DuckDB is fully downloaded. And this installs DuckDB inside your Python environment. You only need to do this once unless you remove or uninstall the Python. So it will stay until the Python and everything is inside your system. Okay. Now we can create a new Python file in our VS Code. So let's minimize this. Afterwards, we can create a we can open a folder. Afterwards, then we can create. Okay, I'm opening the folder under Python files .db. So I gave the folder, and now let's create a new Python file, and let's name it as test.db.py and create a new file. Now I changed the file location and placing it under DuckDB installed folder, created that. And now we need to write some codes. First of all, we need to import DuckDB, and afterwards con and DuckDB dot connect. Okay. Then result equals connect dot execute, and use select 1 plus 1. Okay. Then we can fetch all. Okay. Afterwards, we need to print result. Okay. So what's happening here? We import DuckDB, we create a connection, we execute a SQL query and fetch the details. Now we run this. So we execute it, we installed it, and afterwards we fetch the results and we get 2 comma nothing, null. Okay. So if you see this, it shows that our DuckDB is installed and it works under our system. Okay. So there are alternative options like you can install DuckDB directly in the terminal, DuckDBs, and then select 1+1. I'm adding .duckdb exe, and we can say select 1+1 with a colon, semicolon. We will get the answer. Okay, so that's how DuckDB work inside a system terminal. Okay. So, if you ask me honestly about which is better if you step into a company, the answer is always use SQL inside applications, not random terminal commands. Because real workflow involves Python scripts, data pipelines, dashboards, production systems, all this. Terminal is good for learning. If you are learning, while you are learning, you can just use terminal. But integration is the what professionals use. Okay, while we become a professional person, the workflow should be using integration. Okay, not just terminal. But you can always use terminal, you can always code under terminal, but just for learning, it's better. While you are learning something, it will help you. So today we understood what SQL is, why it matters, how's pronounced, and where it is used, and how to install DuckDB easily. Okay, so next video we will write our first real SQL queries. Okay, and now we are officially entering to the database world. Okay, so we are entering to a SQL database talk. Okay, so that's it. That's all for today. Thanks for listening and hope everything will be fine and you guys will enjoy the coming videos too. See you.